Now, you mentioned that you draw a lot of inspiration from your father. You also mentioned that you kind of see yourself as a father figure within Complexity. Is that something that you've taken from your father to sort of emulate his?
Yeah, I don't think the father figure thing was really done intentionally. It just kind of happened. Number one, I founded the organization, started from ground zero. Number two, for the longest time, I was paying all the bills. You know, if they needed anything, literally, I put it on my credit card. You know, even after we formed Complexity as a LLC corporation, you know, I was still paying all the bills. So, and I was running the staff, and I was designing the websites. You know, I'm the kind of person who I can own a giant corporation, but I'll still take out my own trash, and I'll still dust off my own desk. I'm very hands-on. I'm very involved with everyone from the lowest staff member, you know, to the highest paid Counter-Strike player. So I just think, you know, all those factors combined with I'm a little older, I'm 37, than the average person in gaming, it's just kind of led to me being a type of father figure. And I've had on numerous occasions players and staff come to me about personal issues and ask for advice. Everything from, should I marry this girl? My dad's having a hard time, what should I do? And, you know, they're my friends, so I give them whatever advice, you know, I can. And I'm definitely far from perfect, but it's nice to know that some of the people in the organization, you know, come to me, and I think it kind of promotes the family type thing we've got going.
Do you think that that kind of family atmosphere in a team, and like you said, in a business, is a little self-serving or maybe even irresponsible?
Yeah, you know, it's burned me before, I'll be honest with you. I've made decisions based on emotions, loyalties, and friendships that would not have been made in a business. Quite frankly, Complexity as a business, just pure business, was a disaster. You know, I was spending fistfuls and bucketfuls of money, and completely unable, for a plethora of different reasons, to bring in any good sponsors like, you know, Team 3D or SK. And I really just became so stubborn and loyal to my guys, where I really should have just pulled the plug. Any intelligent businessman would have been like, this baby is bleeding money, it's got to go. And it really became more of a family type, emotional and loyalty thing to me that kept Complexity going. And it's also why I'm so passionate about it, why you see me screaming behind the players, and why sometimes I'll go off on a rant in an interview or on our website, because it's definitely a unique mixture of passion and family in business. And I've always leaned more towards the passion and family side. I'm very fortunate now. I have two great partners, Alex Conroy and Jason Bass, and they help balance me out. Jason Bass is a very behind-the-scenes, cool, calm, collected guy. And he's definitely the kind of guy you want to have with you if you're going to run a successful company. Alex tends to lean more in my direction and passionate and just, you know, relentless work ethic and we'll go get those motherfuckers type thing. But he's also incredibly intelligent for his age when it comes to business. He grew up in a business family. And I couldn't be happier with our new balance of management and Complexity, because, you know, when I step outside myself and look at myself, I need to be balanced. I get way too into things. I take things way too personally, and it becomes way too much of a passion and not enough of a business. Well, now we've got the perfect mix where my passion can drive us, and, you know, the guys that also believe in it can bring their calm and, you know, calm, cool demeanors to keep us more on the level and focused on building an organization that can last for, you know, the next couple decades.
So you mentioned very briefly that you played football.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that instilled a competitive spirit in you.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I grew up, the one thing about growing up in my town, you know, it was a very peaceful, nice place, but it's kind of funny. I guess you have to grow up in a small town to understand. I'm sure some people will get a kick out of this. When you're a teenager, your respect is directly proportional, and it's measured by the percent of the population you can beat up. So if you can kick everybody's ass, nobody messes with you. And if you can't kick anybody's ass, everybody messes with you, unless you've got a buddy who can kick everybody's ass. So I grew up in a very fist-fighting and violent type environment, and I was a huge football player. I mean, I got stitches from inside my mouth, and when I smile, my lip looks funny because my lip's been split open in fights and fist fights, and, you know, And that carried over into football. And I was an incredibly intense football player. I was the guy pushing other players before the game even started on the other team. And I was kind of a prick, to be honest with you. I took football extremely seriously, and had notches on my locker for how many quarterbacks I knocked out of the game. And so a certain part of that mentality, even though I've obviously got older, has really stuck with me. The fist fighter, football linebacker that says, I'm coming right after you, and I'm going to hit you right in your jaw, I'm going to knock you on your ass, and I'm going to beat you. And that type of mentality, has driven the passion behind complexity. And I've had a lot of people over the years that are friends of mine ask me, is this just a show? Is this a publicity stunt? And people, if they're in the room next to me that have been with me for a while, be like, this is no publicity stunt. They lose a match, he might be up there trashing his hotel room with no cameras around. This is the real deal. And a lot of that emanates just from this energy and this vibrance and just this controlled anger and rage, I guess, that started young in my childhood. And I love it. That's why I love Counter-Strike. There's something about tackling a quarterback in front of 5,000 people and hearing them go apeshit and winning that 1v3 that just connects for me. That's why I got so into Counter-Strike, the team aspect, the fact that the mental side of Counter-Strike is the most underestimated side of Counter-Strike. And it equated to football a lot for me. And then really, I've developed passions for other games. But just that go break their heads and op-shot him, headshot type mentality is really what got me involved in gaming.
Do you think that that you have an anger problem?
No, I don't have an anger problem at all. Do I get angry? Absolutely. Do I take things personally and get passionate about things? Absolutely. But if I ever did have an anger problem, that problem was long gone after I had kids. Because if you can't just learn to roll with things, this morning when you guys got here, I was busy cleaning up the bathroom because I was on the phone with a business partner, and my son took it upon himself to go in and smear his feces all over the wall. So things like that, you just start, you just laugh and it rolls off your back like water off a duck. But no, if I had an anger problem, my life would be much different. But I like to funnel when I do get angry and funnel it into good things. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Andy Popkin, yesterday, and he was just saying how amazing it was that we pulled off this website in 7 weeks and have all these great gaming rosters where most people thought complexity was dead. They thought we were dead in the water. It was over. And quite frankly, I got pissed off. I got pissed off at how everything had turned out with CGS. I got pissed off that the team left me. I got pissed off that everything I'd worked so hard for so many years was dead in the water. And like Fro said, he said, when you get pissed off, things get done, and they get done quick. And I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. And I'm very excited about what the future holds for complexity. And see, one thing I believe in very strongly is there's a lot of people out there that talk big. To me, big talk is cheap talk until you back it up. And the thing I love about the people I work with, from the web designers to the coders to our partners, the guys we work with at Creative and Nation Voice and Electrify Servers and IMG, is these people are around me for a reason. They make things happen. I picked up the phone one night and decided I was going to revive complexity, and Will Webb from IMG said, let's do it. 7.5 weeks later, we had a website online. And you guys coming from ESFI know how monumental a task that is. So that type of passion in funneling anger into productive things, I think is one reason I've enjoyed whatever success I've enjoyed.